Yeah, for both of you guys, just how'd you end up liking the format, the whole process of, and really get a chance to lead your respective groups?
I thought it was fun. Coach Sumlin had mentioned something about it earlier in the week, and then texted us. I think it was on Monday, and brought us up to his office, actually into the coach's office, staff room, and had all the players lined up in their positions, and flipped a coin and kind of just went down by position, just drafting guys that we wanted on our respective teams, and it just it made it interesting. It gave it a little bit of it's just more of an incentive, of motivation, and just to go out there and compete against one another. And I think it was good for the fans to see that and see us out there having fun and making plays. So it was I was really happy with how it went.
It was exciting and something different we never done before, and just run competition in the locker room between players. So all week they're getting ready for the game, just splitting the teams up and seeing each other compete.
Right side, Ben.
Who got first pick, and who ended up taking who went first overall in the draft here?
Armani got the first pick, but it wasn't anything like you just pick a first overall pick. We went down by position, and like I said, just went down position by position. He went first pick, and then I got 2 picks, and then he got it just kind of went off like that. So.
Stay on the right side.
Christian, how do you think the young quarterbacks looked, and how do you think they fared today?
I think they played relatively well, and probably one of their best performances that they had during the spring. I think they really settled in. Some of the earlier scrimmages that we had, I think it was just getting used to obviously we got new wide receivers, and just getting the timing down and settling in with the offensive line and just making their reads. And today, kind of all they all kind of put it together. And Kellen did have 2 picks, but there's nothing that he can do about that. Those were both two tip balls, great plays by the DBs. But overall, I thought Nick, Kellen, and Jake all played really well, and I'm excited where they're at at this end of the spring and going into the summer and into fall camp.
Stay in the second row, Wendell.
Yeah, Christian, just as far as the wide receivers, obviously there are a couple of spots that need to be filled based on last year. How do you think the wide receiver groups looked so far this year?
I think we're coming together just like the quarterbacks. We've kind of progressed as a receiver group over the 15 practices that we've had. Each practice, we've pretty much taken a step forward, and that was one thing that I saw. And you just kind of see guys molding into what they're going to be in the fall, and willing to learn. And this young group of receivers that we got, they're very mature, willing to learn, and that's the one thing that really impressed me about them. And they all came in with a mission to get on the field because there's opportunities to play, and they know that. So just the way they carry themselves and go out there and compete. I think just once they get a little bit more experience getting out there and just keep competing full speed and getting used to the speed of the game. I think the sky's the limit for them, and just with the other guys that have been here too, Damian, Aaron Hansford, guys like that. Clyde Chris had a great spring. Moses Reynolds, the guy who came over from defense, is kind of molding into his self, and we're seeing what he can do at receiver. So I'm really happy with how they've come along.
Go to Ben, then Gabe.
Yeah, Armani, with so many linebackers out, how much did the defense today look? How it's going to look like in the fall?
Linebackers came a long way from where they came from. More guys stepping up in the rows. Like we got 5'8" out there. A Toro stepping up. We just got to battle injuries. That's really what it is. And got a lot of filling in spots for the Will, Mike, and really everybody can play anywhere as a linebacker.
Go to Gabe and then see.
Yeah, Armani, Donovan Wilson sure looked like he was having fun out there hitting people, but how do you feel like he's progressing and getting more action in the strong safety position?
Well, I think he's comfortable back there. He's done it before. He's been at nickel most of the time, but having him back there at safety, being versatile, going anywhere, and you can tell he had fun. He missed it being out there, and this is his first spring actually playing, so he was just having fun out there and showing what he can do.
Suzanne on the right, and then we'll go to the left on Cease.
Question for Armani too. Given the team basically that y'all weren't in entire units since you all drafted everybody, how do you think the DBs performed against the quarterbacks and the receivers?
I think they performed well. They was competing with every ball, being able to be aggressive at points, and just doing what we've been doing all spring. And I'm happy with both groups of DBs with how they played and finished the plays.
Far left side, Cease.
So Armani, your guys score first, and then it's Christian the rest of the way. Does that mean that you drafted poorly, or just what about after that 7-0 start?
I don't think I drafted poorly. I just think poor execution.
Stay on the left side, front row, Zach.
Armani, I know you probably already talked about this a little bit this spring, but with Coach Cooper, how has the transition been to him, and what have you learned from him so far?
I think it's been an easy transition, and we've been in the same defense he's used to coaching in. So we got guys that's back and know what they're doing, and we got a couple young guys who've been here too. So it's just more different techniques and things he knows about the defense, and it's giving us tips and different techniques to use.
Right up front, Gabe.
Christian, a little follow-up on that, too, from your perspective, going out there and trying to make plays on the DB unit. Have you seen a group making some mental adjustments with a veteran coach like Ron Cooper back there?
Without a doubt. He, you can kind of see, especially when we do one-on-ones, and, we're really working on our craft and working on one-on-one coverage because, that's the most crucial part of the game is being able to win your one-on-one battles. And you hear Coach Cooper coaching these DBs, and it's all technique and the little things. And they're more patient. They don't bite on any sort of decisive route that we're giving. And they're really kind of you just look at the younger guys, and they're really developing along. And you look at Charles Oliver and Keldrick Harper, and guys like that. They're getting better every practice, and you can see that. So. He's definitely been very influential on the DB group, and they're coming along great.
Right up front, Olin.
Christian, it seemed like there were more passes thrown to tight ends today than there were all of last year. Is that something that you think is going to carry over into the fall? Being a receiver yourself, you probably have some kind of idea about that.
Without a doubt, it's been exciting to see the tight end group kind of come along. They've made some huge strides, and we have some really dynamic guys in that position group. Calvin Klein, Aaron Hansford, and then you have Tanner Shorp. They all kind of bring a different dynamic. Calvin's a bigger guy that can run the routes and he can block. Aaron Hansford does a little bit the same, more of a leaner guy, but can get out and get open. He scored a touchdown today. You can see his speed, but he's strong too. He's built like a linebacker, so he can get in there and block in the trenches. And then you have Tanner Short, who's kind of the brute of that group, and he played a lot for us last year. He has the experience. He knows what he's doing. So we have a great balance, in our tight end position group, and that just makes us more effective on offense and more balanced to be able to get in different formations and take advantage of what the defense is giving us.
Right side, second row, Ben, and then Wendell.
Christian, what'd you make of your personal quarterback play?
What was that?
What'd you make of your own quarterback play today?
Oh, man. It was a little disappointing, to be honest. Just kind of I've been on a roll, whenever we throw those double passes, I've been able to execute them pretty well. And then today, Ratley got held up. It was supposed to go to Ratley, and then, the defense knew it was coming at some point. And, Ratley got held up, and then I looked backside, and I was like, I'm just going to put it up there, see if something happens. But, I thought I could have made a better throw.
Christian, you talked about quarterbacks all played pretty well today. Obviously, it's still kind of an up in the air thing as far as who's going to get the job. And you've been around here for past summers. Explain, what the summer you think is going to be like for those guys. Is this kind of the time from now, from spring practice over the summer until you get into camp? Is this kind of going to be a pretty important period for them to try to maybe win the job?
Without a doubt. It's tough to say that, this will, the summer determines if they're going to get a step, if somebody's going to get a step on, another guy to get the starting job, just because the coaches aren't around to evaluate. I think the biggest thing with the summer is getting down the timing, going out there, working against the defense at 7-on-7, working in team, and just getting down the basics, becoming really good at our basic offensive plays and those timings. So, when we go into fall camp, we can kind of hit the ground running and not have to work on too much of the basic stuff because, once we hit fall camp, we got 5 weeks until our first game. So I think that's the biggest part about, the summer is just going in and working on the timing.
All right, see you on the left side. You'll wrap us up.
So as veteran guys, was there anything different about this spring, or what was different about this spring when you look back to other springs now that it's over?
I say the energy level we had throughout the whole spring, and even though it's not any games each week to look forward to, we were always ready for workouts, have energy. Coach Hockey brought that to us. Just being able to go out there and compete against each other and make each other better throughout practices.
Yeah, I think he kind of hit, the nail on the head. Coach Hockey really brought in a different type of mentality for us to pretty much attack every day. And, we have fun every day. We have fun every practice. The energy level was high. If we had one bad day, the next day, the next 2 practices in a row, we were bringing, high energy, high level of competition. And, we just knew we were making each other better, every practice. I think that was the biggest thing. And when we had that mentality, we were getting better, and we were getting better in, our plays, our routes, our techniques. So I think that was the biggest thing, just the mentality changed.